Yeah, another hard-fought night in Conference USA, and Mexico State did a great job coming back second half, played with a ton of energy. We didn't look like ourselves coming out of the locker room. That certainly is always going to be on me. I'm not looking for us to play in perfection, and we had like a 1 point something points per possession the first half, and DJ said it, our assistant said it best, our associate, that was going to come down. So because they're a really good defensive team, but we didn't respond to turn it over 3 of the first 4 times in the second half. Didn't respond to being a defensive team with great purpose and identity. And again, credit New Mexico State; they're very well coached.
Coach mentioned there first half, you guys built out that pretty big advantage. You guys are playing well, playing through the paint. That's something we've kind of seen here in the last handful of games. You always mentioned you just kind of take it with the defense gives you, but did you see something particular that you guys were able to take advantage of early in that?
No, we just got away from, scored in transition after some stops, and played really selflessly. Which again, you're not going to make every shot, but I thought we found a way to stretch them out a little bit. And when you're taking it out like we did in the second half, you don't have that same freedom.
Mexico State, like you said, made the run and got it back tied, and we're pushing you guys late. How pleased were you with the guys' response the final 10 or 12 minutes?
Yeah, John, happy with finding a way to win. Again, Colin was out. We had some foul trouble, had some matchups that we probably would have chosen to go differently. But again, it's a mark of a good team, and I'm a little burdened by the expectation, and I think they are too. Of you got to win every game, or I felt like we were not ourselves. So again, happy that we found a way, but certainly don't want to take the joy out of why those guys play.
You mentioned not being yourselves. Is that more on the defensive end, particularly in the second half?
I think it was all the way around. I don't know how many assists we had in the second half, but it wasn't many, and we turned it over 5 times. So. Yeah, but again, I don't want to take anything away from them because I think they did a great job defending us.
Did that also play a role in some of the glass, like the offensive rebounds they had in the second half? I think they only had 3 in the first half, but had a bunch in the second half.
Yeah. John, you saw what I saw. Again, they're really physical, and they've got really good athleticism, and we had some matchup difficulty that we normally overcome. And again, they decided they didn't play their 5-man tonight. They decided to match our lineup with their most athletic, fastest guys. And again, the other teams, they coach their teams too, and they work hard and they game plan and they prepare, and they even brought a lot of fans. So I don't mean to sound frustrated or surly or anything like that. I feel like, again, our guys we got to keep finding a purpose and a joy to play with, and not the other stuff.
It wasn't a ton of time, but RJ got in there late, had a few big rebounds. I guess, are you proud of how he's coming along this year? I guess, what did you see in that minute?
Yeah, Bryson, I love this team. Like, why wouldn't I? I don't remember the instances of specifically that you're referring to, because I'm used to JJ getting a lot of rebounds. So, and we sized up a little bit with Josh, JJ, and Zach on that front line. Some of that a necessity because Colin was out, but I do think we found a way.
The game decided just by 2 points in the final seconds there, last possession. How important is free throw shooting? I know sometimes been critical of the team last year and early this year, but and Zach as well too, what he did from the line.
Yeah, I see them make them in practice, John, so I probably have more confidence than others because they don't usually come to practice. So I just believe when they get up there, they're going to make them, and I trust them with that. In a game that ends up being 1 possession in the last minute or 2 of the game, like those are critical. And CP's as good of a free throw shooter as we have, and he's a security blanket. So, but he was cramping, and I didn't want to risk that. So. Happy that those other guys stepped up.
What does it say about your team when they weren't themselves coming out of the locker room for that early portion of the second half? It seemed like they found themselves buckled down defensively, got rebounds, and made plays when it mattered.
Yeah, we got it. We have a good team. Like, again, we're in a really good league, I don't know what the metrics are, but when you play in a top 10 or 11 league in the country, it's probably going to be hard on most nights. And we've got a really good start, but we're not even, what is that, a quarter of the way through tonight? Yeah, so we have a lot of room for improvement, but I like this team even after we lost in Orlando 2 games and when we lost in Raleigh. Like this, it's a good team. We're still finding the best version of ourselves, and we still have a good month and a half to get there.
You guys celebrated 1,000 points a couple times here in the last week. Zach tonight on that free throw. I think Bill said it might be the second team in the country to have 3 guys topple 1,000 points at their school. Just if you want to speak about that in general, maybe Zach also get to that mark and kind of what he means to this team and you in general.
Yeah, first of all, hats off to Bill Smith. He's a stat sheet stuffer, isn't he? Like, that's a really good stat. Yeah, Bryson, I could literally be up here for 5 minutes talking about Zach Cleveland. I think he's one of the most unique players that I've ever coached. I think he's one of the most unique players in college basketball today. He's got the IQ of a coach. He's got a selflessness, a toughness, and a competitiveness that anyone would love to have on their roster. And for whatever he's not, a 70% free throw shooter or a guy that shoots a ton of threes, he injects into a team winning. And every coach in America or worldwide would want someone like that. So he'll play a long time. And I think the fact that we have 3 guys that score 1,000 points speaks to our group's their selflessness and their perseverance. Like they stayed at Liberty when they probably could have gone elsewhere. And I'm really, really thankful that they did.
What do you know about Colin's status? What can you share?
I have no idea. I talked to him in the locker room, and he's seeing the doctor.
Quick turnaround now, UTEP team that's struggled some this season. I know you probably haven't looked at them a ton, but what have you seen out of them and how important will this next 36 to 48 hours be just in recovery?
Yeah, John, I haven't watched them at all. There's full disclosure. So I'll start that tonight. But typically Coach Golding's teams are great on the defensive end, make it really hard for your offense to have a flow or a continuity. And I think they're probably like every team in the league, still finding their way. He's a really good coach, though. I think these turns, I'm glad we're at home. These turns they're not the easiest, but everybody's got to do them. And we want to stay in the lane of gratitude and not complain. So our guys, they'll be ready. They'll find a way to recover and handle it in a way that shows our appreciation.